yo, 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 yo. All right. Thank everybody for tuning in. Hey, we're going to get this thing going one way or another. Shout out to those that's in the chat box. Salute to the Virginia Finest. Dallas Cowboys talk. Shout out to you too as well. Tough Reloader. Shout out to you. I like that name. All right, the Zeke pre-Elliott experience. I like that, it sounds pretty good. Scandrick to the Dead Scans. All hail the Dead Scans, right? Let me know if you guys are able to hear me, because I can see you guys. Tyrus Atkins, salute to you too as well. My brother Ryan Coleman in the house, shout out to you too as well. Looks like a movie finna come on. Yes, this is The Nation. Hello, Newman, shout out to you. Yeah, need to leave mediocre O-linesmen alone. Maybe so. Jay Bakes, shout out to you, man. Jamal, thank everybody for tuning in. You guys know how this thing goes, man. We just want to be able to talk about this Dallas Cowboys free agency, right? I'm trying to be Gucci, fam. I try to be Gucci. Sean Evans from the Alabama, number 19. At number 19, I guess, at pick 19. Could be possible. Let me fix one other thing right quick. All right. Nothing but the best. Yes. All right, so let's get this thing going one way or another. Thank everybody for tuning in to the Law Nations talk. We got so many things that's in the fray. We got so many things that's on our mind as it relates to this Dallas Cowboys free agency. We do know that there's not a lot of moves going on, but that's okay. I looked at film. I posted film. Pretty much just basically highlights of Eric Reed. I think that he has the explosive ability to play out on this team. Now, we do know that there are some political reasons why that he's not picked up, and that's a story of another day. So there are players out here. So I don't know what the aspect of what Dallas doing, but they are bringing in some pieces. Yes, they are not household names, but they're coming out, and hopefully I'm not going to even touch or talk on them until we actually have them on the team. How about that? We understood what Orlando Scandrick did. He went to the Eagles, not the Eagles, but the hated dead skin, foreskin, whatever you want to call them. Now, is that the resting place for all Cowboys, the ex-Cowboys? I remember when they got Stephen Bowman. I think they got him. They went and got, was it Hatcher? Jason, I think that was his name. I forgot his name. That's where players go to die, I guess, from the Cowboys. They go out there and they think that, okay, maybe I can play a team that's familiar. Maybe I can play a team that understands and know me. And then all of a sudden, Jason Hatchard, I think that's his name. Maybe I can go to that team and I can make the Cowboys pay. But it don't. It never works, right? Hatchard, yeah, Jason Hatchard, yeah. It was that Dat R. Green and Huey or High. Was it Firum? Shout out to you, man. Hashtag Law Nations, yes. All right, so Crawford needs to go. How much money do we owe, or what will we have in Crawford if he does leave? Jay Cena, Crawford needs to go, yeah. And Sincere Solo, Navarro, Bowman, maybe. The thing is with Navarro, he's like Sean Lee. They played together in college. The thing is with Navarro, we liked him in October of last year. We thought that we had a chance to getting him, and he went to the Raiders. So I don't know whether or not Jerry Jones is going to pull the trigger on him, but we do know that we have missing pieces on the linebacking core. Now, my philosophy is pretty much from here. We strengthen the front four, and it will help elevate and push the linebacking core. But at the same time, by us getting rid of so many players or players walking like the Hitchens of the world, and you thought we didn't have like depth last year in linebacker, my goodness, this year is just even worse. So hopefully we do something. You know, there's veterans that we can go out and grab, but we got to make a move real quick. I wouldn't like the idea or the notion of having rookie guys out there. And we do know what Jalen Smith did last year for us. He was showing development. He was showing growth. He was showing his ability to read and react out there, flying out to the plugs, filling the plugs and the gaps and things like that. But can you really hang your hat on Jalen Smith? I don't know, because I heard news and stuff like that they were trying to push him out to the strong side. So, and then Sean Lee, we understand what he is. He's a dynamic guy, but it's one of those things where Sean Lee, can he stay healthy for 16 weeks? So you can't hang your hat on that. All right, the real Bishop, shout out to you. John Jay, what up? The O-line, D-line, and linebacker. That's what you need. That's what we need out there. Yes, we need those type of guys. Jalen will dominate this year. That's from Gibbs. Look, we got to pull from factual. We got to pull from reality. We can predict that he would dominate. I want known commodities. I want somebody that we know for sure that we can put a hand on and say, okay, this is what's going to happen. At the same time, we would never know with these free agencies. We would never know, extremely never know with draft picks. But one thing we can say with this is that the free agencies that are out there, like the Navarro Bowmans, we know what they brought to the team when they was playing, if healthy. So that's the only thing. Draft Rashawn Evans. This is from Stokes. What's up with all this Rashawn Evans, you know? What's up with all this Rashawn? Is he really that dog of a man out there? I know he's not a Tremaine Edmonds. I know that he's not the kid from Georgia. I just don't see that out of his play. But, I mean, remember when I was talking about the hardest positions in the NFL, right? I was saying that, like, of course, you know, the quarterback is one of the hardest positions, the center, the sack, and then you're talking about the tight end. Then you know what I have next on that pecking order? The middle linebacker. That position is one of, and I'm telling you, one of the hardest positions to learn, especially when you play in Tampa 2. You have so many responsibilities of dropping back and covering and when to come towards the front line. Now, when you play in Tampa 2, defense 2 as well, I mean, you got to be able to cover out in space. And we saw how perfect and how wonderful Roll McClain was playing that middle linebacker position when he was out there, when he was healthy, when he wanted to play. But we don't have the luxury of having a 6'5", 245 guy flying around to the ball. We just don't have that. And Jalen Smith, yes, he's close. Trust me, I saw some growth in Jalen Smith, but he's not like a Roll McClain at this point. Roquan Smith, yeah, Willis Coleman. Shout out to you too as well for bringing that out. All right, so Kenny Vaccaro. I have Eric Reed just above Kenny V. And we all know Kenny V, he's from Texas kid, Texas native. We love our Texas guys. But at the same time, with the same breath, can Kenny stay healthy? That's another thing too as well. We got those reservations. We have those thoughts about Kenny. All right, and what else we have here? He could get off the line. He couldn't get off the lean. Yeah, man, he loved the lean. All right, so who we have here? Helen needs to stay put. Yeah, whoever Helen is, stay put. Experience is priceless. This is from Ryan Coleman. Experience. Go back up. I like this. Experience is priceless, especially inside of the clubhouse. Bowman was a championship ride of the Niners. So yeah, he was on a championship ride. So when you're talking about experience, and I love experience. Experience is things that you can go through and you can explain to people that you already been there. And one thing that if you look back at the Patriots of the world, and I hate to say this, yeah, Patriots and the Denver Broncos, they went out and got some experience. Peyton Manning was nothing much more than experience out there. Could he throw the ball better than Brock Osweiler at the time? He didn't have the deep ball, but he had a knowledge. And that big cantankerous head he had a lot of information up there. And he was processing a lot of stuff. And even though his arm wasn't strong enough, he was still able to get the ball, push the ball down the field. And they had top world-class defense too as well. We do know defense wins championships. If you couple that with experience on this defense, that's all you really need. And I've been saying that from the past few videos. Even when you look at the old school Ravens, how they won the Super Bowl, I think they had horrible quarterback play. I'm talking about the early, not even when they had Joe Flacco. I forgot the name of the quarterback, but they had horrible. Even though if you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they had Trent Dilfer, right? Ravens had Trent Dilfer. The Buccaneers had Brad Johnson. But they had experience on that defensive line. They had some guys, some dogs who were able to make some turnovers, create pressure, get to the quarterback. And I do know that's like light years beyond what we can think about with our defense. But we kind of pretty much, we got the pieces in place. We just don't have the experience to help elevate this team. And you get one or two guys to make this experience better, you talking about I'm talking about you talking about a dynamic team. Number 8th overall in defense last year. I'm going to beat that to the drum. I'm going to beat that to the death of me. If you get one or two guys, you can help elevate this defense beyond what we saw last year. Tampa 2 have cover two linebackers. This is from night 405. Tampa 2 had cover 2 linebackers. Yeah, you got to have somebody with good hips, good play awareness, flies out to the ball, take good angles. And your front four, what you want to do with that front four in the Tampa 2, you want that front four to be able to stop the running lanes and also still get to the quarterback. Front four is flying out to the ball, a la, quote, a Simeon Rice or somebody like that. This is talking about the Tampa 2, the traditional Tampa 2. You got the front four that flies out to the ball, crash upfield, get to the quarterback, and then you have your guys that play on the outside being able to press, cover, play up tight on the line. And if you trust the man-to-man type of play, then your safeties are key. And that's why I'm leaning more towards Eric Reed. Go back, look at his highlight reel. He was able to cover well out in space. Now, do we have that rangy cover safety? I think Jeff Heath, I mean, he got some of that, but he don't trust his skill set all the way to the max level. And it was a reason why he didn't start every game. You know, it's just one of those small things that we have now. K. Frazier, he did step it up, but like I said, we want known commodities. You know, we don't know whether or not K. Frazier can just, like I said on my last video, yeah, you don't want to sleep on a young guy, but still, if you have one dog, one leader out there, one or two guys, and put these guys in the right places, you'll see a different type of defense. You'll see a defense that's explosive and can cause turnovers. Instead of a guy getting beat by an inch, or see, football is a game of inch. Instead of a guy getting beat by a foot, or a guy getting burned because he missed the wrong assignment, now you'll see the complexity of the full thing with this cover 2 defense. Then you'll say, okay, this Rob Marinelli is playing ball right there. He got everybody going out there. Yes, Patel, Kayvon don't have no range. Yes, and he have no experiences too as well. But he can hit you. When he hits you, he gonna pop you. Ask Rico. Yeah, Jay Strokes, Kenny V do have aggressive. He got tone. He got an aggressive temperament out there. Oh yeah, Kratos power. for the gods of Olympus has abandoned me. I like Woods and Frazier, yes. Mm-hmm. It's the jam, man. This music don't get you crunk, my God. I don't know what you're doing with your life. Sign Deshaun Elliott. You can squeeze Deshaun Elliott out of the third. I don't think that he's gonna make it to the third. Might have to do something finagling, getting down, making 2 picks in the second. That's the only way for my thoughts. But Wood was sleeper. Brendan, I feel what you're saying. To the infinity and beyond. Yeah. Let me check something out right quick. Hold on, guys. Give me about 5 seconds here. Right, so with everything going, I'm back. All right, the law. This is from I guess L Train. It says turn my snares down just a little bit. Turn it down just a little bit right here. All right, so you said where are you moving too fast for me? What do you say? Are we going to debate? Are you going to debate with Mark Holmes? What debate? I really don't. See, the thing is with me, come on, camera, get with me. Camera, get with me. Here you go. There you go, camera. All right, the thing is with me, I really don't debate. Either I deal with factuals or nothing, you know. So, for instance, the color of the wall behind me is brown, light brown, shades of brown. One can argue and say, well, the wall is white. My thing is, it takes two to debate. I would say, okay, yeah, you're right, the wall is white. But the facts of the matter is still the wall is shades brown. So, I mean, we can go back and forth on any debate, but at the end of the day, we all have opinions, and person forced against his will is of the same opinion still. So even though you try to debate anybody, still be rumbling around with the same thought track. So that's how I look at debates. Dallas Cowboys Talk collab. Hey, it doesn't matter. You know, we can collab anytime, anywhere, any place. You can express your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions out there. I'm willing to listen. You know, that's one thing that I do well, in my opinion. I listen to what people have to say. And Law is rocking the ascot. Shout out to you, man. All right, so who do you think we will take in the first round? Derwin Trinidad James. That's who I want. I want Derwin James, and there's so many reasons why. You know, for one, I think that he's a better rangier Kevon Frazier to me. You know, flies out to the ball, does so many more things for the defense. You would see where they would play in a sense or a fashion, whereas you would say to yourself, that was the piece. Sometimes in your secondary, yeah, all it takes is just that one guy to help elevate your team. Trust me, I'm not calling Derwin James Deion Sanders. But you guys remember when we went out and grabbed a Deion Sanders? Or you guys remember how the fall off of the defense when Darren Woodson left? That's how much your secondary can play a major key to your defense. Having that threat, that fear of somebody being able to play well out in space like that is everything. That's why I'm leaning more towards a Derwin James. Now, if we go and get a Hernandez, that will be still cool. Ezekiel Elliott will be nice, with that, compliment out there on the line. The other news and report that we trying out some guys from against Patriots. I think Clemens guy. I haven't looked at his film yet, but I heard that he's a true right tackle. So when I heard the news earlier today, when they were talking about moving La'el Collins back to guard, I was like, at first I'm sitting here like, why would you do that to La'el? La'el faced some gruesome, some furious front four last year, especially on that right side, And then Dak Prescott, he rolls out to his right. So, of course, it's going to look like and appear like he's been pressured more than anybody else on that right side. But neither here nor there. The thing is with La'el Collins, he did a good serviceable job, Now, was this the greatest job of all right tackles? No, but it was a job whereas although he allowed pressure, he didn't give up a lot of sacks last year. And people fail to realize that it takes time, continuity for that right tackle to anchor in on that spot. Now, granted, and I'm going to say granted, La'el Collins did beat out Ron Leary each and every time for that left guard position. It's just that injuries came into play, and that's why Ron Leary was able to get back into the mix. So it was never nothing to do with just who won, It was always injuries with La'el Collins with that left guard side. But if in a pinch we move La'el Collins back to left guard, I won't pitch a tent about it, but I will say, come on, team, let's have some type of consistency on this line. Let the running back get jail right, with the offensive line, because running back moves in unison with the actual offensive line. They get in a groove. See how I'm grooving, man? They get into that sweet spot. And then, really, if you guys look at me moving like this, really, and this is just not me trying not to hypnotize nobody, but when you start moving like this, you normally used to see Barry Sanders, or my guy Emmitt Smith. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guys remember Warwick Dunn back in the day? See them shoulders like that? They find that sweet spot in that zone, or they find that sweet spot through the middle, and they can run. They take the top off the defense, even through these small, shifty guys. Now, you got Ezekiel Elliott. I call him Zeke the Freak. He has that subtle moveness, It's not something that you just sit back and say, oh, wow, this guy is going to break some ankles. But he have that shift in it. He plant his foot, and he gone. And that takes time to develop. And a lot of people who knows football knows that it takes that little 1 to 2 games to get into that groove. And when you start changing pieces out on that offensive line, he cannot find that sweet spot. And when you can't find the sweet spot, guess what? The linebackers pinning their ears back and they coming. They blowing up that hole. You know what I mean? And it looks like, oh, man, he's washed, but that's not the case, no other scenario. Let me see who else we got in the chat box. You're talking about A.B. Ridley, whoever that may be. Max Bowen, Law Groovin. Yeah, I got to groove with it. I want my running back to groove with it next year. This is my dream. This is my dream right here. How the Saints, I'm about to say Seattle, but how the Saints made their draft pick last year, we all know that Alvin Kamara was like, okay, he was a bad running back, right? He was one of those guys that you knew that whatever team he was going to go to, he was going to be explosive. They already had Ingram, and they went and got AP, Adrian Peterson. But they didn't stop there. They went and got this guy, Alvin Kamara, right? And everybody like, oh, well, when the pick happened, everybody like, well, okay, he ain't gonna never touch the field. But when he got out there, he found his groove, he started grooving too as well. And they was like, AP really can't catch the ball out of the backfield like this guy. He used to be the man. And he still may have some versions of being a man. But out there on the field, you guys know what I'm talking about. Camaro kid. Let's give him a chance. Let's give him the rock more. Can you imagine if the Cowboys had a change of pace like that? We tried that a little bit with Lance Dunbar, but he couldn't stay healthy. We saw that a little bit with Rod Smith, but we can keep Rod Smith in his role as being a bruiser, and finesse, because he's a finesse big guy, right? He finesses his way. He can get in there. He can get in and out of this breaks too as well. But my thing is, if we could just go out and maybe find a good running back, it can be a John Kelly, it can be a Shoney Michel, it could be somebody, whoever that kid that ran that fast time, that 40 time, forgot his name. It could be one of those running backs that we can sneak onto this roster. And I'm talking about not no undrafted guy. I'm talking about a real running back who can just really, 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 really be us a good spell back when Ezekiel Elliott get tired of dancing and moving his legs throughout this offensive line. You know what I mean? And we can have that non-stop, all physical prowess with this offensive line. Then you just never have that stop. Everybody talking about Dak Prescott, then guess what? With that running detail that we will have, throwing it at these teams out here, although it's a pass happy league, your guy Dez Bryant will eat, right? Even if Ryan Switz, if he's out there, he'll catch the ball a little bit more, because now we have a different type of philosophy. We have a true philosophy. There's nobody who's dropping off when the running back is running the game, Say What You Like sports podcast. You guys check them out too as well. Lyle Collins is over at WWE Raw right now. Need to check that out. Let me know. Signed DeMarco Murray for a 1-year deal. This is from, was it Deer Camp dude? I think he's going to sign with Miami. Last I heard, they're working up a deal with Miami. DeMarco Murray. New coach isn't the answer yet. Yeah, man. If we can find someone in the offense in the draft that can dance more often, yeah. Yeah, Rams won free agency. Yeah, we'll see though. Free agencies, Murray fumbles a lot. God, Murray. Yeah, he does fumble that ball. I was like, what is he playing? Basketball? What is he doing out there? What does he think that he can do, Shout out to what we have, 63 people in the house. The other day when I was talking, I know I was very, very long-winded. It was like 3 hours straight, right? We was going into it. Shout out to those who made to contribute. My PayPal account, you guys didn't have to. I'm gonna pull your name because you made a nice size donation, and I really appreciate that. On my next video, I'm gonna pull up your name and I will spotlight you. That donation means a lot, but not to say that I'm doing things for donations, but the wall behind me, I have not forgot. I'm gonna set up a P.O. box because I know you guys are wondering why that wall is so blank, right? Set up the P.O. box, whereas you guys can send me whatever you want to send me as it relates to Cowboys. I'll post it on the wall. I just didn't have time to set up the P.O. box, but hopefully this weekend I'll have the time to go down there to the post office, set that up so that people can send me some nice artifacts on the Cowboys. A non-naked wall behind me. Starboy50, what's up? Shout out to you. Patel, shout out to you as well again. And Andrew, howdy to you. Howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Maxwell, replace T Will with T.O. Ooh, there's another T.O. out there. Man, T.O. is so old right now. But he probably snap up his hamstring. You know, that's the going deal with Cowboys, right? I wish I had football IQ of Law and laugh out loud. Man, you got it. You got it. You guys play Madden. You guys play Pee Wee football and high school football and middle school football. You guys got it. Trey Boston could be worth a look. Cheap day. This is my order. I have Eric Reed, number 35, of course. Then I have Kenny V. Then I have Trey down there as the last guy. What I have my reservations on Trey a little bit is his coverage ability. He seems to tackle high too as well. So he is explosive when he explodes and he tackles. I do like that aspect of it, but he has my reservation will be his coverage, and that's the last and the least of our worries. To have somebody out there that can't really cover. Hell no, we ain't giving up our first. Man, this Earl Thomas situation. If anything happened with Earl Thomas, it would happen around the draft. During the draft, Thomas Octavian. Oh man, that's funny. Oh, Dak Nevek. I think that's how you say your name. That's funny. But deadlines make deals, right? And Earl Thomas around that time frame, around the draft, that third round draft pick will start looking sexy for the Seattle Seahawks. Then they'll say, okay, we can get Dallas third. We already know that we're gonna have to pay Earl Thomas $10 million anyway. Let's just go ahead and get this third. We're already happy with our first and second round pick. Let's get this extra third so we can get the really last guy that's high on our board. And I would trade for Earl Thomas with a third straight up, with no questions asked, And then you mean to tell me I'm gonna take $10 million out of your hand and give you a third round draft pick? Come on. Seagulls, Seahawks. And hopefully they would comply to our demands, but that's just how it goes. So with that being said, getting all type of phone calls. Yeah, we will see. Jason Witten getting old and slow. Max Bowen. Man. Jason Witten talk. Jason Witten. How can I put this in words with Jason? It seems like he really do needs to go, and I know I love Jason Witten off the field, just class, straight class. If everybody in NFL act like Jason Witten, it world class, and the NFL would change a whole lot of policy, right? But Jason Witten still every now and then he shows up like, oh wow, yeah. And I can only think, if Tony Romo was still the quarterback, how many catches would Jason Witten really have? Because Tony Romo and they love one another. I mean, they still probably go on trips together. How can I put this? The best thing that Jason Witten can do for the Cowboys, quote unquote, Doug Freed, just retire, But I know that it's just one of those topics, whereas, people sit back and say, well, Jason is a pillar of the community. He's, workout warrior. I mean, he never gets injured. He's one of those guys that, leader of man, he got all those traits of everything you want to have out there on your team. But the problem is that the Dallas Cowboys trying to win cute, and that's our problem. And you got to respect the mindset that the coaching staff have, but you can't win cute in the National Football League. That's just impossible. You got Roger Goodell breathing down your throat. You got a quarterback that shows that he's not getting in trouble, right? And then he started repeating and regurgitating because it becomes the identity of your coach. You got a coach that claps whether or not we win, lose, or draw, and you just can't win cute. I know that even with the Eric Reid situation, I said I don't talk politics, but we know deep down in our heart that Jason Garrett just can't control that type of outburst, or somebody who can think with their mind on certain topics that's not, I guess, suitable for their whole entire locker room, nor do Jerry Jones, And I would eat my words if they say, okay, tomorrow the Dallas Cowboys signed Eric Reid, But the thing is, with the Dallas Cowboys, we want to win cute, and it's just all problems. Even when we look back at it, even the good picture of it, of what the Cowboys is last year when we played the opening game against the New York Giants. We right at the 1, and they was trying to force Dez Bryant the ball. We were right at the 1. We got the rookie of the year last year, pretty much the quarterback, but we know there was Ezekiel Elliott. You right at the 1. Just pound the baby in. It don't look cute, but that's what got you down there to the end zone. And I was pulling out the hair that was on my head and face, and I was sitting there like, there you go, Zeke about to run it in. And they was forcing the ball. I don't know why. They was trying to win cute. And we see that so many times with this organization. We get down there to the red zone, money zone, green zone, and we trying to pass. And what made you get down there was the running attack. I go back all the way to the playoff game. We sitting here. Trust me, I love Dak Prescott. I love his ability. I loved his youthfulness. But when we was look back at that game, I hope you guys have it. I have it on my Facebook page. Just type in the game, and you should be able to see the Dallas Cowboys. If you can sit through that whole entire fiasco, that whole entire game, we was right there. Run the ball with Zeke. Zeke was averaging by 5 or 6 yards a carry. I kid you not, against Green Bay. But we was just trying to get down into the money zone and just get cute. Pass the ball, and that Barnett kid, he blocked the ball down. And I think eventually Dak Prescott passed the interception. But this is like in the playoff. And I'm sitting here like, why get cute? Just run the ball. But we don't do that. And but Dak overthrew Dez 2 times. That's going to happen, Kim, but it's just one of those things where I really want this coaching staff to win gritty, win nasty, win with just running the ball up the opponent's opposition. Look, we crown ourselves with the best offensive line, and I hate that. I hate that notion. Because other teams like, well, we're really the best offensive line. We can prove it to you that we are better. And that's what the Eagles' mantra was all last year. We have the better offensive line. And the proof was in the pudding, because we are all intelligent beings out here. And when you start focusing and start planning your mind, saying, okay, we're better than the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. Even though they wasn't, but it was in their mindset and their psyche. And then all of a sudden, guess what? When it comes football and the temperament, a better coaching who can help motivate, all that stuff comes into play, And I know a lot of people going to say, well, no, Lord, you really must be on the sauce. But when you start to revamp your mind and say, I'm the best, we're going to prove it on Sunday. We're not going to give no lip. When we knock you down, we're not going to help you up. We're going to play that grittish type of football. And it starts trickling down from the head office to the head coach down there to the players. Some stranger things happen, man. Motivation is the key. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and it was just something that came amiss. It came about, whereas sometimes you can be in a pinch. And mothers out there, those who are mothers that so happen to listen to this channel, I mean, there's situations where it's just uncontrollable things happen. Sometimes a mom can be in a car wreck and the car flip over, then all of a sudden that adrenaline, that fortitude of strength just come out of nowhere, and she lift the car up and just snatch the baby out of the back seat of the car. I mean, things happen when you motivate and push your mind to things. And when you don't have we don't have that force, that talk track between your players, then you just don't see that, you know. And I could be 1,000% wrong with the Dallas Cowboys organization. They can have some guys that can spit fire out there that we don't know, you know what I mean? And that guy can be just pushing everybody, but I don't see that guy. I don't see that that quote unquote that Michael Irvin type of talk, that Troy Aikman type of talk that was out there out of the 90s. And we can move fast forward to like the Ray Lewises of the world and the other guys that talk so much, that spit all in your face, you know, and you just taking it in, and you saying like, you spit on me one more time, I'm gonna slap you type of stuff. You know, I don't see that out there on the field. And that's why I lean more towards a Derwin James. He have that type of dog and mentality. And once somebody told me that Sean Lee has the same type of temperament. I don't know, man. I may be wrong. All right, so let me read the comments. I can get off on a whole nother topic. Hey, Law, we gonna get it this year. Billy Murphy, baby. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Blake, what's up? Salary cap started in 1993. You know what? You did put something on my mind with that, Blake. I wonder how Jimmy Johnson would do with the salary cap. Now, we saw when Jimmy started coaching for the Dolphins, it was kind of like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you might be on to something. You know, maybe the salary cap thing has just messed up the whole type of rule we had going. So, Garrett doesn't even carry a play sheet. That's from Virginia's finest, man. I'm gonna take heed to that. You know, he don't carry a play sheet. I haven't really seen him with a play sheet, but you know, you're right. Can we bring Jimmy back? You know what? Depending on how, believe it or not, this is what I'm thinking. Hear me out. Hear me out. While I'm thinking, let me see where the music at, man. Let me see where we at on the music. Let's see what we got. It's my thinking music, man. All right, so this is what we can do with this. Okay. Depending on how the Raiders does, right? It's predicated on whether or not we can bring back Jimmy. If the Raiders go out and go like 13-3 or 12-4 or 14-2, something like crazy like that, that's going to create so much hype that they said, you know what? If they can bring back John Gruden, or what's his name? John, right? I got his name, John Gruden, right? If they can bring back John, then we can bring back Jimmy. You know what I mean? That should be like the talk. And everybody should say, hey, you know, come on, Jerry, bring back Jimmy. You know, hatch that stuff. You know, look what the Raiders are doing. They doing this and doing that. But, you know, I doubt it, you know, because the Raiders look like they making some lost crazy moves over there. Bill Belichick, you know. I don't know, man. He's a lifer, man. Either he's gonna figure out a way to get the Cleveland Browns or Giants. I don't see him ever going this far south. You gotta understand. I just don't think that will ever happen with Bill Belichick. Now, my guy, I already told you guys, my guy, Jim Harbaugh. You know, I would love to see him in a Cowboys hat and to the face of the players. I love to see that. You know, that would be nice. Jim Harbaugh, yeah. Jimmy is hell of old, you know. Might as well bring back Bill Parcells, right? Oh man, Ray, what's up? If we were to trade up, it will be the first round. Yeah, I mean, if we trade up, it would be the first round to get Derwin James or Roquan or Tremaine. I mean, let me ask you guys this: what about Josh Jackson? What about a Minkah Fitzpatrick if they so happen to fall in the draft? With AB guys, we take a look at Fitzpatrick or something else. Oh man, old Dan Neck, however you say your name, man, get out of here, man. Go to bed. You talking about bring back Barry Switzer, that's crazy. That would be funny, man. Gruden has been around, so it's completely different. I mean, don't sleep on Jimmy. Jimmy been around too as well. People been going to his house during the summer breaks, trying to squeeze and retain all the information from his head and say, how did you get this team to do this? How did you was able to get this team to do that? Bill Belichick, by the way, Fitz is a beast. Yes, he is. The real Bishop Kane, baby. Yes, Beltran. Yes, so he can break that curse in another Super Bowl. That would be something. You got me thinking. You got me thinking out loud too as well. So that would be something to bring back. Barry Switzer, break the curse. Because in a documentary, Jerry Jones said, hey, if we can win this one Super Bowl, I would never ask you to do anything else. And I think he's having a debate or talk with God. And then I think I heard him on another clip. He was talking about he sold his soul to win that last Super Bowl. And I'm sitting there like, come on, Jerry. I wanted us to win the Super Bowl, but not that bad. Don't sell your soul. We can find a way. We haven't won anything since, so he might say he might be on or something. Say what you like. Sports podcast. Don't forget to check that out. Jim Harbaugh got kicked out by the San Francisco 49ers because he belittled the Imperials. But don't we need somebody that can rattle the front office? Don't we need somebody who can? I think Jerry getting old now. Don't we need somebody who can just second guess this front office? Really put the front office on the front page, Don't we need somebody like that? That would be nice, for a chance to say, Jerry, and I think that Jimmy and Jerry, they went to school together. They knew each other before they made it big. And I think Jimmy was able to tell Jerry, man, you stupid. I don't think that we don't have that type of talk track amongst, owners to coach. And I think Jimmy was like, hey, don't you bring that Arabian Prince down here. That's stupid. Look, don't talk about the team. Let me talk about the team. Let me do the press conference. Anybody who's talked to the press or the media, you fired. Jimmy used to do that type of stuff. And Jimmy used to cut players without even Jerry's permission. Jerry probably fall in love with the player, a la he falling in love with players now. And Jimmy used to say, well, no, this guy's a bum. He's washed up. Let me make this trade. Let me get something from him. I'm not going to let this guy walk. Look, if we go back, if you put Jimmy Johnson on his team, I guarantee you, Scandrick, we would have got a third or a first round pick from Scandrick. Believe it or not, we'd probably, Jimmy, you would figure out a way to get a first, not a first, I'm trying to be too crazy. But he'd have figured out a way to get a second or a third round pick for Scandrick. He wouldn't have let guys go for the free 99. He would have figured out a way to trade Crawford to the Browns or Cincinnati or to these small ranking teams, and he'd have figured out how to put a bow tie on these players and manipulate this thing around to get players to this team. I'm talking about dogs too as well. And that's the difference with Jimmy Johnson and any other coach that we had, probably outside of Bill Parcells. And I was still, if I had a hat on my head, I would rest my hat on this thing right now. If Bill Parcells was able to coach Tony Romo for that one more year, that extra year after he made that fumble snap thing, I really think that Bill Parcells would have took this team to at least the Super Bowl and won it, honest to you, why not, because when we hired Wade Phillips and we went, I think 13-3, everybody was calling it Camp Cupcake. And we went to the playoff. I think we went to what's the name of that island? That everybody kind of make fun of us now. I forgot the name of the island. You guys know the island, Cozumel or something like that. I forgot the name of the island they went. Come on, somebody know it. Somebody know it in the chat box. I know I'm talking slow. Oh man. Cancun, Cabo, there you go. Shout out to you, man. Cabo, yeah, we went to Cabo. That wouldn't have happened with Bill Parcells. I promise you, these guys have been ready to play. I mean, you didn't deserve. Yes, we had that bye week. We didn't deserve to be like one of those teams saying, "Look, we made it. We're gonna go on a vacation now." Bill Parcells would have had them guys saying, "Y'all didn't win anything yet." It's time for you guys to really play. And if you look back at that game against the Giants, I think that year, I mean, come on. I mean, we had T.O. flying out to the ball. Of course, Patrick Creighton dropped that ball. We're going to always talk about that But when Patrick Creighton dropped that ball, it was like 9-10 minutes left in the game, to be honest with you. And I think with those lack of preparations, hunted us, to this day, my Cowboys team is a whole lot better than that Giants team. And that Giants team, after they beat the Cowboys that year, they went off to the Super Bowl and they beat Tom Brady and team. And I really think that our team was a better team, and I know that people probably say, well, Law, you just talking with the homerness. But you guys go back, look at every game if possible, man. In 2006 and 2007 season, you'll see that the Cowboys was a good team that year. It's just that we kind of lost focus. And I think Bill Parcells and Jimmy Johnson, somebody of that ilk, would have had this team better, ready to play. And of course, out of that branch, of course, we lost Mike Zimmerman, who, quote unquote, into the NFC Championship since then, and we lost Sean Payton. Sean Payton, we hate to lose Sean Payton, but it's blasphemous almost to put. I think probably Jason Garrett probably have a better winning record now. I don't know what the winning record is because Sean Payton been losing as of lately. We know Sean Payton is a better coach than Parcells. May not be a Parcells, but Jason Garrett, come on, come on now. 12.5 million reasons why. Cowboys legend 27. Shout out to you. What's 12.5, man? Talk to me. Excuse me. I'm coughing over here. Let me see what this thing. All right, so what's 12.5 million reasons why? They're still elite. DJ Crown J. Look, for once, I know I can't go a day without talking about Dez Bryant. My thing is here. For those who say Dez is elite, remember, I don't debate. I don't debate at all. I say, well, yeah, I debate you on any topic. I know I said that before. Let me turn my music all the way down so you guys can understand it. Okay. Turn my music down all the way. Everybody, come on, stand to your feet or get closer to the mic so you guys can understand what I'm saying. Get closer to your speakers. The thing is with Dez Bryant, you got a segment of Cowboys Nation that says, okay, Dez is elite. Dez is elite. Dez is elite. Dez is Randy Moss. Dez is a better than Mike Irvin. Statistically, you can say that. Dez is better than Dez is the Cowboys' all-time leading touchdown guy, right? We got all the segment of population, and then you got a segment of Cowboys population that says Dez is trash, Dez is garbage, Dez can't catch, and then you got the other segment of population who says, well, Julio Jones have the same more drops, and Dez numbers is better than Julio Jones. I seen that argument before. I even heard somebody say that well, Desmond pouting is more like motivation. It's motivating. He's uplifting everybody. He just throwing his cup around because he just didn't like the cup in that spot on the table on the side of the bench. He wanted to move that cup, so he forcefully moved that cup. And out of frustration, he's just yelling at the quarterback so that the quarterback can understand that he was open. It's all the scheme fault. It's the way the ball was thrown to his fault, And then we got a segment of a population saying that Dez can catch everything. It's just how the touch of the ball is. Look, now what we have to do is take both of these segments of populations of Cowboys fans and just kind of put them all in a box somewhere and just have a come to Jesus meeting and say, okay, let's agree to disagree. And where we can agree to disagree is, of course, Tony Romo is as far as a number wise, one of the most accurate quarterbacks with the QBRs in the last 15 to 20 years, one can argue. He's in the likes or the X of and I do know that somebody's going to say, well, Tony Romo threw the interception, but also Tony Romo had a nice touch on the ball, a natural passer. Hell, he's in the same breath of if you look at the stats, Tom Brady, the guys got rings, an Aaron Rodgers guy have rings, and he's in the same ilk of a one can say a Joe Montana, a Dan Marino. As far as stats, we ain't talking about win columns. We looking at stats. Now you take that out, and you still got Dez Bryant right here, right? Even though he ran his 3 to 4 routes based on schemes or based on schematics, however you want to look at it, based on natural ability, and you take that out, and now you have a second-year quarterback. Really, when his first year, it didn't really translate, right, to numbers where we want. Now you got a second-year quarterback, and you expecting Dez Bryant to have the same type of production. Is the equivalent of me going to the parking lot, and I used to drive a Ferrari, and I'm going in the parking lot, and now I got a Honda, 95 Honda, and I'm expecting the same results. You're not going to get it, okay? But what you can do with your 95 Honda is put things around your 95 Honda to make it at least respectable to get to A to Z. It's no longer a luxury car. We don't have that no more, Cowboys Nation. Our luxury is Ezekiel Elliott. We have to focus and take our mind out of Dak Prescott because he's no Tony Romo, playing up the place. He's no Tony Romo. So we agree with that, okay? So that's not going to change. It is easier now for us to get rid of Dez than it is to get rid of this car that we have. We can go out and say, okay, we can go and draft another quarterback, but now you just re-dipping a chip back into the dip. That's just not right. You know what I mean? This quarterback, 13-3 is rookie year, 9-7. And I hope I'm making sense to you guys because now we got Dez Bryant, who one can say, still on the other end, he's been injured for the last 3 years, regardless of who was throwing him the ball. He's been injured. So he's no longer 2014 Dez. Especially you don't have Tony Romo. And one can argue and say, that's chemistry that Tony Romo and Desmond Bryant have together. We don't know whether or not, when we haven't never seen that before, another quarterback passing Dez the ball like, oh, wow, this is something miraculous. Dez Bryant can go to another quarterback and it still can be the same situation. And I have one thing that I can say this right here. There's a guy down there in Houston, Texas. I think he wears number 10. What's his name? He's a small guy, run good routes, catch everything thrown to him. And then for his whole entire career, he never had a quarterback throw him the ball. What's that guy's name? You guys know who he is. But we look at Dez and we say, okay, it got to be a certain quarterback. It had to be a quarterback to put the ball in a certain spot. And he can't. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. We don't ever hear anybody saying, well, DeAndre Hopkins, he don't have a Tony Romo throwing him the ball. He had Brandon Whedon and stuff like that. I even heard Dallas Cowboys fans saying that Brandon Whedon is a better thrower than Dak Prescott. If that's the truth, if that's the scenario, then what the hell happened in 2015? You see what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, one can say, well, Dez was injured, what have you, whatever it may be. But these are all excuses. This is a no excuse league. Well, I just talked to you guys about DeAndre Hopkins. And we know he never had a quarterback. And every year he's putting up numbers. He's producing. We don't hear a word, one seep of a word from him. But at the same time, we sit back and say, well, Dez got to have the stars aligned, the moons aligned, and all this stuff. Trust me, I love Dez to the core. But at the end of the day, we got to figure out a way. This is Dak Prescott third year. Hopefully, we can get an upgraded package and get out of the Honda. And hopefully, we can at least get into something with 6 cylinders instead of this 4 cylinders gameplay that he have. And trust me, it's rough looking at the game when you're sitting back saying, oh man, Tony Romo would have did this and Tony Romo would have done that. But also Tony Romo wouldn't survive through Denver game last year. Dak Prescott was running for his life during that game, you see. But we fail to realize, as good as Tony Romo brought us the love and the feel good of the game, he also had us at the edge of the seat. And if anybody was glad that he retired, was Candace Romo, his wife. This guy can be rolling around in a wheelchair, for crying out loud. I mean, of course, upper management or whoever the Dallas Cowboys scouting department, when they neglected to put offensive line around Tony Romo and give him a number 8 overall defense. Of course, that we can all go back and forth with that. A little bit of this falls on Tony Romo too as well. I go back to the previous stream that I did. You pay a quarterback, you don't win the Super Bowl because you're going to be missing so many pieces. If you think about this, if Tony Romo never took that big contract and said, okay, I'm going to split this money. I'm going to do the TB12 plan. I'm going to do the Tom Brady plan. I'm going to take some of this money and I'm going to put it towards defense. I'm going to take some of this money instead of taking the I think, what was Tony Romo's contract? You guys know. I know it was $105 million or $130 million, whatever it was. If we could take some of that money and put towards the offensive line and put some of this money towards defense, we would be talking about, hey, man, Tony Romo, man, you remember in 2011, they won a Super Bowl because they had this and that. You can't win in the National Football League. I'm going to say again, you pay your quarterback that serious cheddar, because on some part of your, it's $107 million. At that time, that was a lot of money. Shout out to Blake for the numbers, man. Appreciate you. But you think about this. Just think about it. Aaron Rodgers got him 1 Super Bowl ring, and that was because they went out and made some moves during the free agency. They went and got the Charles Woodsons of the world. They went and got some defensive guys. They went and got some pieces before to surround him. Then that next year, I think they paid him some money. You see what I'm saying? Joe Flacco, the same way. The next year, they paid him some money. Now, one can say, well, they paid Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, they put that defense around Peyton Manning. They said, look, we know that you have the ability to elevate this team offensively. But we was embarrassed when we played against the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and do the same thing they did. Let me give you Talib Aquib, whatever this guy's name. I can't say his name. You gotta know what I'm talking about. Let me get you some pieces around the defense. Let me go get you DeMarcus Ware, D-Ware. Let me get you somebody who can fly out to the ball so we can minimize your time out there on the field. You see, we know you're a master. You're a genius out there in the field, and so as well as Tony Romo. Maybe we was going down that path when we said, okay, we got this offensive line. We're giving you Zeke or Elliott now, But one can say, well, you're not going to do it with Brandon Carr and Mo Claiborne. I mean, come on. Even if we were, if 2014, I always say this too as well. If we had, it's always something crazy. If we had 2015 defense in 2014, we probably would have beat Green Bay. Greg Hardy, somebody flying out to the ball, or Roe McClain playing healthy, and I think that Deshaun Lee play a little bit too as well. I could be off a little bit on that, but if we had that type of defense, and there's always ifs with our Cowboys, but the proof is in the pudding. You have a number 2, number 3, number 4 defense. You get into the playoff. You have a decent offense, you'll get to the playoff. But at the same time, if you paying your quarterback tons of money, you're not making it to the play. You make it to the playoff, but you're not winning the Super Bowl. And if you're paying your wide receiver tons of money, yes, you're gonna have highlights out of the wazoo. You're gonna have all this fancy stuff, nice scores and everything. Good feel good story, throwing up X. Remember that one game that Dez caught 3 touchdowns and all this stuff, and everybody feeling good. But feeling good don't make you win a Super Bowl. And I'm telling you, everybody, I'm gonna go back. Everybody said, before I even started this stream, I said the Cowboys. A problem with the Cowboys, we like to win cute. We like to have that marquee number 88 running down the field catching the ball. We like to have that nice, wonderful quarterback doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And that running back just looking cute out there. We like to look cute, but looking cute don't win you the Super Bowl. You don't win you the Super Bowl. And it barely gets you to the playoff. And that's the same thing happen over again. And we the only fan base. I don't know other fan bases, but I do know this fan base. We go back and forth. We always bring up old stuff, Even when Tony Romo was a quarterback, I remember people saying, well, Troy Aikman would have did this. Troy Aikman would have done that, And then when Troy Aikman was playing, oh, man, I really think that Burline guy is a whole lot better. What about Steve Wash? We all know when Starback was playing, what happened with that whole scenario, But it's just one of those things that this is how the Cowboys organization is, And I know it could be a problem with the marquee franchise and stuff like this. But I'm going back to Dez. What we need to do is Dez going to be on his team for 2018. We know that for sure. If Dez have any type of production for this is for the Dez apologists. If Dez have any type of production like he had last year and the year before that, and it's not his fault. Of course, I understand Dez Bryant is innocent. But if he had the year like he had before in 2015 too as well, it's bye-bye Dez. But if Dez somehow explode and be a difference, be like a DeAndre Hopkins type of deal out there on the field, regardless of what Dak Prescott do, that's the hard reality. Because this is a run-first offense anyhow, so you're not going to have bloviated numbers anyway. If Dak Prescott have the same exact same, it's crazy. If Dak Prescott have the exact same year that he had last year, the 7 games without throwing the ball, without having, I think, 120 yards or something like that, or not even hitting 100 yards, Dak Prescott still on his team. That's just how it goes, I hate to say it, but one gonna look at it from the aspect. This is a 25, 24, 25-year-old quarterback versus a 28, 29-year-old receiver. They're going to do their quick math, and they're going to say, well, it's best to get rid of the receiver. That's just how it goes. I hate to say it, but that's just what it is. And we can go back and forth where it's saying Dak Prescott trash, and Dak Prescott can't throw the ball beyond 10 yards. I understand that too as well. But at the same time, if you go back to the philosophy of the team, this is a run-first oriented team. This is a 1990s philosophy offense. This 1990 philosophy of offense, you're not going to have that 400, 500-yard game. And then even if you go back to having those type of games, 9 times out of 10, you're down, which forces you to pass the ball. And a lot of those games that of Tony Romo for, we were down. It wasn't a lot of 13 in 3 years. Believe it or not, to be honest to you guys, it wasn't a lot of 9 and 7 years. It was a lot of years where we had a lot of puffed up numbers because we was down. We really didn't have a running game. It was the running game was Dak, not Dak, but Tony Romo passing quick, shallow passes to the flats, passing little quick dump off passes to number 82, and then occasionally hitting your Miles Austins, your Laurent Robinsons, your Roy Williams, your Johnsons, and then when T.O. came on the board, hitting T.O.s and stuff like that. But we wasn't winning a lot of games, a lot of games with stats, a lot of good stats. Defense was horrible. I mean, through that stretch of years of Tony Romo, we had 28th ranked defense, 23rd ranked defense, 18th, 19th defense, and still some of that baggage is still on his team to this day. A lot of people are saying that the Cowboys defense is horrible just off of that era. You know what I'm saying? So neither here nor there. That's all I had to say on that portion of Dez Bryant and the segment of population who's saying he's trash, and the segment of population saying that he can walk on water. And it's the quarterback fault. Just do the you can't get that out of a Honda. Dak Prescott right now is a Honda Civic. He's not even a Honda Accord right now. So, but can a Honda Civic get you from Texas to New York? Yes, but you got to drive it a little different. That's the only thing. That's my best analogy. And Tony Romo was that Ferrari. You got a high octane. Get you from 0 to 100 real quick. And it's one of those cars that you can say, man, you look up, you already passed Louisiana. But guess what? You got to get gas on that car. You got to change out a lot of oil. You got a lot of high maintenance and all this stuff. This is a low maintenance car. You can't push it. You'll blow a head gasket. You know what I mean? So we got our philosophy now in Ezekiel Elliott we trust. We got to put our hopes and put all our chips on Ezekiel Elliott. He got to stay out of the news. He got to stay out of – look. If we want to be optimistic about this thing, this time last year, we wasn't even talking about football. We were talking about Ezekiel Elliott showing some ladies, St. Patty's Day parade. You guys remember that, So we making improvements, baby. We making improvement. We not out here talking about off the field shenanigans with Ezekiel Elliott. So that shows growth. That shows development. There's more time than him not even worrying about the court cases. And think about this too as well. Even Jordan Lewis. I'm going back to defense. We know Jordan Lewis had his domestic thing that he had to go to court. So he wasn't even practicing. He wasn't even having his mental mind together on things. And look how good Jordan Lewis played last year, right? Think about this. I know I'm long-winded on this, but think about this now. Our best move this offseason during this free agency is pretty much staying out of trouble. If our guys can just stay out of trouble, we can be a better team. Shout out to Smith Fan 22, man. Why do people care whether Dak is a top 10 or not? He's a 22-10 as a starter. He's also cheap, so why are people complaining? Dak will be a good quarterback. Thank you for explaining that. Look, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people, tons of people, goes back to the same fight. Remember, people were saying, look, this is why the way Tony Romo left, a lot of people feel that Tony Romo had at least one more in him. And I felt the same way too as well. I wasn't team Dak right out of the jump. I'm being honest with you guys. I was more so like, let Dak Prescott learn under this offense. Don't give him the position right up front. And that was me. That was my battle cry. I never forget. And my guy Mark Holmes was like, look, it's Dak Prescott's season. It's Dak Prescott era. Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott. And that's how me and Mark Holmes and Joe Boo pretty much communicated and got to talk to one another. Neither here nor there. But my thing is with this. A lot of people didn't like the way Romo left, and a lot of people felt like validation is needed for Tony Romo, because the whole argument through Tony Romo's whole career was Tony Romo is better than Eli Manning. Tony Romo is better than Ben Roethlisberger. Tony Romo is better than Drew Brees. Tony Romo is better than, and there was there was a tier of quarterbacks that we know that Tony Romo was pretty much like not in the same breath of the untouchables, and that was the Peyton Mannings of the world and Tom Brady. But we was, as Cowboys fans, we will always have that notion to say that, well, Tony Romo, he can really pass the ball better than this quarterback. And then we would start pulling up stats and pushing up numbers. And then all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. And then Eli Manning won another Super Bowl. Then Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. So that pushed Tony Romo back down. And people will start saying like, well, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. And then people were saying like, well, where do you finally put Tony Romo? To me personally, I mean, if you surround Tony Romo with the right weapons, he was in the same breath of Aaron Rodgers. I know a lot of people are gonna say I'm crazy with this, but he was. But you talking about a two different type of coaching philosophy what happened, and two type of ways of different teams was built. That to help elevate Aaron Rodgers. They had better coaching strategy, a weaker division, and they was able to get and elevate their quarterback and finally win a championship. One can say that, hell, the guy that played for the Chargers, what's his name? I forgot his name just that quick. He's a way better quarterback than Eli Manning. Guys know his name. I forgot his name just that quick. I'm getting old, I guess. It's getting late. I've been talking for an hour and 13 minutes straight. What's his name? What's the quarterback for the Chargers? Rivers. Rivers is a whole lot better than Eli. But people going to fall back on the Super Bowls and elevate the Super Bowl and say, well, Eli Manning got him a Super Bowl ring, and therefore he's going to be in the Hall of Fame before any of these guys. So Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Matthew Stafford, Ryan, whatever the guy, Matt Ryan, all these tiers of quarterback, you have to put Tony Romo where, and then people were saying like, well, maybe he's on the outside. And that's where the whole talk track, we were so combative as Cowboys fans, we were pulling out all type of stats to prove and validate that Tony Romo was better than these guys, but he just never had the hardware nor the team to surround him like the other teams that we just mentioned. And when Dak Prescott came along, bam, people had those same stats for all those years, and they are using against themselves, And it's just crazy how Cowboys fans can be just so combative about that. But now you have a quarterback that went 13-3, 9-7, and we have yet to see this type of back-to-back year pretty much ever with Tony Romo. And that's just the problem, Romo plus O-line equals playoff 06, 07, 09, 2014. Yeah. 06, 07. 06 was Parcells last year. 07 was Camp Cupcake. And that was the year that we really, if we had any chance to win the Super Bowl, it was 07. And I would say it was that 07 year. And I think it was that 09 when we went and played I think we lost to the Minnesota Vikings. They had, I think it had to be 09, 2010 year. That was the year 2009, 2010. I'm trying to remember. I know I don't feel like Googling it, but we had a top 10 defense at that time. Somebody can Google it. You guys got faster access to it because I got everything running. But I think it was 2009 or 2010. We had a top 10 defense. It's just that we laid an egg so much when we went to that, when we played in Minnesota. And every time I close my eyes, I can still hear the horn. But say what you like. I appreciate you for making the donations to help grow the nation. But I can still hear the horn when I close my eyes. Tony Romo is running for his life. I think Tony Romo, what year we had a top 10 defense? I think it had to be 010, 09, 09, 10, Last year we had 8 ranked defense, but I think we had a top tier defense. It was in one of those years we had a top ranked defense in '07. Like, all right, so it was close. Salute to you, Brandon, and salute to said that they finna go to bed. Virginia Finest, salute to you too as well. I need to be taking my butt to bed too as well. But we can go on and on and on. But I think '07 was a good year. In 2014, catch no catch deal. But we just probably still needed one guy in order to win the Super Bowl. We needed that one guy that can fly out to the ball and create some type of pressure, basically. But neither here nor there. QB's running for his life. Garrett, common denominator. Gilly, you have a point. But now we have to say in Gary, we got to clap it up. And it just, that's how it goes. We can't change it. And the only way it can change, 12:04 where you at Virginia, yeah, it's kind of late. It's 11:03 where I'm at. One offering up David Irving yet, Steven. I don't think so. Might be a draft day trade. If not, I want to see David Irving on his team, but I want to see David Irving play for 16 weeks. I want no surprises. Romo was my quarterback. Ty Jefferson, yeah, he was all of our quarterback. Chris Dantzler, salute law, lights out, laugh out loud. Guys, be safe, man. Go to bed. And my coach used to say, I used to be so fast I can be in bed before dark. 2014 schedule got Dez paid. Yeah, Jay, it did. It's just one of those things. We can go back and forth with the shenanigans of the Cowboys seasons, but it is what it is. I'll try to drive home a point, but you guys know this year be optimistic. This thing, knock on some wood, because there's no off the field stuff right now. These guys should be focused, driven, and ready to play, and we can stop all this whining. Hopefully, when the training camp come, when we start seeing the helmets and the pads flying around, and somebody pull a hamstring, and we start like, damn, come on, we start talking about something else, But Romo got a lot of people paid, guys. And looking at the chat box, Romo got Miles Austin paid. Romo got Laurent Robinson paid. Romo got, believe it or not, the guy. He got Sam Hurd paid. Y'all remember Sam Hurd got paid, went up there to Chicago and tried to be a drug dealer up that way. And then y'all remember this guy, Ogletree, I think that's how you say his name. He got him paid, And Romo pretty much got Beasley to still play football. Romo did a lot of things. It's not like a Romo prep talk session, because Romo got me to lose a lot of gray hair somewhere in there. Romo had me to lose some days out of my life too as well. He passed interceptions. He got injured, at the wrong time. So I mean, there's always a give and take with the Cowboys. So I mean, it's just one of those things, Sam Hurd, big D for life. Yeah. So it is what it is. So I mean, we looking at the actual Eagles with a second year quarterback. Well, not second year coach, third year now. Took the team to the Super Bowl, and we looked at it and saw. I think the Denver Broncos guy. He wasn't coach for a long time. Took his team there. Excuse me. So, I mean, it is what it is, not to throw hate and shade at our team, but we got to figure out something. If not, we'd still be in the same essence. You know what song I gotta go to now? Although this song go hard. Y'all hear this, you know it's about time for me to go. But gotta go to my Kratos song. My Kratos. Where you at, Kratos? Yeah. Gotta give everybody a shout out, man. Thank you guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank those who donated too as well. It's a pleasure too as well. We got a lot of things code-free. Shout out to you, Randy Gregory, suiting up this year. Randy Gregory, man. Oh man, Randy Gregory, man. I mean, I hope Randy Gregory can do something, man, out beyond this, you know, blazing one for the stars, you know. But it is what it is, man, with Randy. Shout out to Jake, Parker, Steve, what's it, Underdrowski? I think that's how you say your name. Drain, Martin, Chris Sir, I like that name. Real nice name. Big D for life. My nickname too as well. Ty Jefferson, shout out to you. Say what you like, double pieces. You know how it goes. Who else, man? I know we got more people in the house, man. Put your name there so I can call your name out. I know you there. No Dak Ninja Anderson, shout out to you too as well. We got 54 people in here. Bell Train, shout out to you. Jay, Farm, D, man, shout out to you guys, man. It's been a pleasure all together, man. Look, at the end of the day, if we want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up our time and our peace and our sleep for it, if all we desire is this doggone Super Bowl, we'll put all our strength and effort towards this thing, and it can happen. I promise to you guys, man, we can make this thing happen. I will be live in the flesh, man. Come this Thursday, we're going to be with 3-6 Mafia. You guys know who he is, you know. Gotta stay fly. We gonna be live, man. We gonna be in the Plano. I'm gonna shoot you guys a flyer. Hopefully it's gonna be posted down below this link once I get off the air. I'm gonna put all that stuff there. Take it easy. Smith Fan 22, man, one of the greatest running backs of all time, man. And is the running back rushing leader. Juicy J, yes, Blake. Who else? Anybody else name I forgot if I omitted anybody. Hiri, I think that's how you say your name. I'm just gonna put the highlight, aka Eddie. There you go, Eddie in the house, man. highlighted your name. That's special right there when I put the highlighter on there. Tell your boy Mark to stop using fake news. I mean, he's old, man. He might have made a mistake, said he had some inside plugs that went wrong, So we're gonna have to give him a pass on that. That's just how it goes. It hit us with the okie doke. Remember, I don't break the news. You guys can go check out Mark Holmes' page. He break the news. I just break down the news. That's my motto. I ain't gonna try to be the first one to hit it. I don't want to be the Ray J. Ray J say he hit it first. Go ahead, Ray J. You do your thing. I don't want to do that. That's just not me. He says he old, man. Yes. You gotta let the man make it, man. So it happened to us all. I know me, man. If I see something out there, I was one of those guys who like to, put it out there first. That would have been crazy. Orlando, it would have been a sweet deal. That was too sweet. Sometimes things, when it sounds so good, it feels so right, it feels so good. Sometimes you just can't go with that, man. Especially when you're talking about a fourth round pick in Orlando Scandrick. Man, I'll give that for Earl Thomas backup over there in Seattle. Not alone for Earl Thomas. So I mean, when you're talking about a deal, what are you gonna get out of it? That's how I look at a trade. What are you going to get out of it? And then for those who say, look, I ain't ready to go yet, because now you got me talking about the Earl Thomas. Let me make sure I got the music all the way down so you got to hear me. Look, the thing is with this, the ramification of us giving up a first and a third round draft pick for Earl. For those who say, go ahead and make that deal, come on, man. You don't want to do that for the simple strength. If you do that, don't you know how set the Seattle Seahawks would be? And just think about it, if it was this year, they would have the 19th pick and then they picking ahead of us. Shoot, they'd be back. They'd be talking about, man, we done revamped. We re-up. We got rid of $10 million and we get the 19th pick. And we get a third, man, come on now. And then whoever we made trades with in the NFC, we got to play them in the playoff. I'll be scared to see. I'll be worried about the Seattle Seahawks, that's just what's up, man. That would be a dream. That would be a dream for Seattle, man, to do something like that. They done already did that with us before. With the Joey Galloway that ran off with the plug twice, But hey, shout out to Turbo Dog, man. That dog run fast, but this dog don't hunt over here. NJE Recordings, man. If you got beats, NJE, hit me up, man. You got recordings, that's your name. You guys know somebody with beats, hit me up. Cowboys by nature, shout out to you, man. I'm naughty by nature, to be honest. Revis Patel, shout out to you. Anybody else new before I go? How many people we got in the box? 42 strong, man. That's a lot of people, man. Was it Gracia? Shout out to you. Don't forget Roy Williams trade. Oh my God, don't remind me. Roy Williams got here. We talking about Dak Prescott to Dez Bryant, Tony Romo to Roy Williams was horrible, man. They couldn't get on the same page to save their life. Reckless Anthony, man. Shout out. Yo. Salute to you, fam. Dallas Cowboys talk. Hey, Law, I had an interview with the linebacker Justin March Lord. I think that's how you say his name. And I talked to you about it. Man, you can talk to me about anything, especially when it's related to football. Hit me up. The best way to hit me up, guys, is either if you got a Facebook deal, jump on Facebook, find at Laws Nations, hit me up, shoot me a message. I don't want to say DM me, but inbox me. That sounds crazy too, inbox me. Just hit me up, man, and get with me either via Facebook or hit me up. Find my Twitter page. It's the same thing. Laws Nations. Hit me up on Twitter. I'll add you and we talk back and forth. Or, believe it or not, I got an Instagram. All that stuff posted down below in the link. Get a lot of cats, man, who hit me up on my Instagram page. I got about 200 people on my Instagram, man. My Instagram game so weak. And my Twitter handle so weak too as well. Not to compare to this YouTube page. Facebook kind of semi-strong, but you know, you guys know how it go. Just hit me up those locations. Flame Spitter. And do you be spitting flames, or you that's just your name? Seattle will pipe down and take whatever once the draft comes. You right. That's what I've been preaching, man. I don't know what else to say, man, but I really thank everybody. This is your brother from another mother. No other. I don't look like Danny Glover, but keep it cool for you guys as we get this thing going one way or another. This is not James Harden. I'm about 7 to 8 years older than the cat. And plus, I think my jumper's a little bit wetter. Nah, that boy got a crossover and he left-handed. So, hey, he can do this thing. Shout out from the South Texas Law. Shout out to you, man, Devin Garcia. And remember, you guys are listening to Nothing But the Bass. Luke, I'm out. Peace.